The Print of the Cuff, presented by IIFL Wealth and Asset Management, powered by K. Raheja Corp, corporate partner AU Small Finance Bank, in association with global insurance brokers, airline partner SpiceJet.
Welcome to the Prince of the Cuff. I am Purva Chitnis. And this is for the first time in 2 years since the pandemic that we are going on ground, and we couldn't have asked for a better guest. He is a live wire full of life and energy and a prolific actor who has done variety of movies, and even his latest release, in fact, is striking the right chord. Please welcome Ranveer Singh, who needs, in fact, no introduction.
ऐसे आप इंट्रोडक्शन देंगी भी तो चलेगा, बोल दो, कुछ भी बोल दो
जी। और आगे इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को ले जाने के लिए
इंट्रोडक्शन देना होता तो आप क्या कहती?
हम
है ये
फॉर ही इज ऑल्सो द हार्ट थ्रोब, इनफैक्ट जिसके नाम से काफी दिल धड़कते हैं। दिस इज अ क्लीशे बट आई कुडंट रेजिस्ट इट।
और भी दो इंट्रोडक्शन, और भी दो।
और ये बहुरूपिया है जो रूप बदलता है, शेप शिफ्टर है, कभी कुछ कभी कुछ। और देखो एक फर्क होता है सिनेमा की एक्टिंग में। एक एक्टिंग वो होती है विच वॉज आवर ट्रेडिशन द 50s, 60s, 70s until Rajesh Khanna, where the film star remained the film star even in his or her real life. Same mannerisms, same everything.
Yes.
But now, and then we used to see, look at Jack Nicholson with Envy, right? He becomes a character that he's playing, right? You remember the Marine Colonel from A Few Good Men. So he's from that new genre where you become the character. So there is no Ranveer in the character he's playing. So that is about as much praise that I can give to this rogue. उसके बाद मैं ज़्यादा बोलूँगा नहीं.
In fact, he is the only one who could have pulled off a Bajirao and an Alauddin Khilji. So what more? And to carry this conversation forward, our editor-in-chief Shekhar Gupta.
तो एक बात बताओ रणवीर, Alauddin Khilji, very negative character in the Indian context, right? Even I was sort of conditioned to hate the guy, right? But I had to think, Ranveer Singh hai, do I hate this fellow, right? But you are very convincing, whatever the history. And now say Kapil. So how do you become the person that you are playing?
आपको पता है सर, अलाउद्दीन खिलजी, I would go into screenings of Padmavat, and in the second half, and they'd be like, when he in the second half, there's a scene comes on when he chokes his nephew to death, and people are cheering. People are cheering when he starts dancing on Khali Bali, and I'm scratching my head. I was like, I thought I was the villain of this movie, So I guess the audience connected with Khilji, in some strange sort of way, because I experienced that over multiple screenings. I was like, wow, they're really, they're loving this guy when they're actually supposed to hate him. So I guess the audience loved to hate Khilji. Effective. And I'm grateful for all the, for everything that character gave me and that filmmaker gave me, who really has shaped me as an artist, Mr. Bhansali. But coming to Kapil, this echo of, hey, you are someone who gets into character and creates distinctive characters. Now, in this moment when 83 is released and the chatter is about my latest offering, which is this character, Kapil Dev. Now that echoes louder than ever before. That wow, here's an example of an actor who is able to really get into characters as opposed to playing the same sort of thing over and over again, which has always been my endeavors. I don't know any other way to be.
Without caricaturing them.
Because when I was growing up and experiencing cinema, the actors, the performers who would be most attractive to me or who I'd be most fascinated with were those ones who had that shape-shifting chameleon-like quality.
Like who?
I would not even say Jack Nicholson is the prime example. I'd say, let's say, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
Well, I love Jack Nicholson. Who doesn't love Jack Nicholson? But Daniel Day-Lewis, like, take a sample set of 4 of his films, and you can't wrap your head around the fact that this is the same actor playing these different parts, and that's always been my endeavor. Because my aspiration is to be that kind of actor who's able to showcase or display range as a performer, to showcase versatility, to be able to straddle a diverse set of genres and be effective in all of them. So whether it's all-out comedy, all-out screwball comedy that I'm doing in Circus, which will come out next year, or a slice of life drama, or a very reserved character, or a brooding character, or a Romeo, or a demonic sort of villain, or a talismanic captain in a sports genre. I relish these challenges, and for me, fulfillment comes from when I see that I've been able to achieve diversity, and a versatile actor is what I would like to be recognized, and that's always been my endeavor. So now this echo that's so loud now that people are experiencing couple on screen, I deeply appreciate it. I'm very happy because it's been my endeavor, and if that is the chatter that's going around, then that's something for me to be happy about. I'm happy.
Yeah. So, Kapil, yes. Now it's tough enough to do a biopic, and Indian cinema does a very bad job of doing biopics.
You feel so?
Of course, terrible biopic. Particularly for, politicians, we can't do fair biopics anyway, unless you want your head smashed and your ticket buying audience's head smashed. Sports people, others are all made into something else. So if I take you back when Richard Attenborough once said, young Richard Attenborough, that I want to do a film on Gandhi, Nehru said, show him as he was, warts and all. Right? In India, you can't show anybody famous, warts and all. So doing a biopic is tough. But in this case, it's not even a biopic. You are one of the characters there. And many of those characters never featured in our lives after that. Balwinder Singh Sandhu, right? I don't know how many of you remember, but in that World Cup final, this man who used to bowl at maybe 115 kilometers an hour, right? He bowled a banana swing a ball, which clean bowled Gordon Greenidge, who had shouldered arms, right?
Famous.
Yeah. That moment of that World Cup. In fact, that moment he thought कि ये हो सकता है, तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? So how do you get in that skin?
It is. I would say, sir, in the continuous line of characters that I endeavor to develop that can be distinctively different from one another. Of course, it was a new challenge because this is a living, breathing person, a person who you have a reference point to. Up until now, I was creating characters which posed a different set of challenges. I can't say one is easier than the other. From there, you have to come up with your own imagination. You make certain choices and you're kind of liberated to make different choices. Nobody has a reference. Here, there are set parameters. Everybody knows and has seen and experienced Kapil Dev. They know how he talks, how he walks, what his body language is. There is a reference point. So a new challenge, but I embraced it. And it was extremely fulfilling to embody this person because he's a legend, and not just because of his cricketing achievements, it's because of the person he is off camera. He is so full of life, and he has such insight and perspective and life lessons to offer, and his alpha male swagger. You know, he's just, I love him as a person. I love hanging out with him. I cherish every moment in this process that I've had the good fortune to be around him and learn from him. He has an amazing aura, an amazing energy, and this creative process has been one of the most fulfilling creative processes of my life. Like, I lived with him for 2 weeks in his house to kind of pick up his mannerisms, and develop the character. He trained me in cricket, the nuances of his batting style and his bowling action. You know, when we were shooting that 175 not out, we were shooting it at Tunbridge Wells, where he played that iconic innings, on the pitch that he played it. And he was there watching me while I was shooting it. This is a life moment for me. It's a highlight of my life. Lords, you know, to be on the balcony where he lifted the cup, that same cup we were shooting with, the real cup, you know, to relive. Yeah, it was amazing. I can't tell you what a, and it's even more pronounced to me, the experience of this film and the effect of this film, because I'm a cricket nut, you know. And I always say this film 83, it's for everyone. Even if you don't know cricket or sport, or you can still connect with the emotions. It's ultimately an underdog story, a story of self-belief and triumph. But if you know your cricket, it's another trip altogether. So I'm very proud to say the level of detailing in this film is that जो cricket का कीड़ा भी होता है ना, we'll watch with a magnifying glass, will still applaud Kabir Khan and his fine detailing. And further to the endeavor of my filmmaker, my endeavor was also to put such level of detail कि couple भी मान जाए कि, you know, he should also after seeing it be like, man, you did me better than me. Yeah, you know. So his teammates certainly echoed that. Kabir sir in this promotional campaign has expressed how he got a call from Kirti Azad after the trailer launch, and Kirti sir told him, it was only after I watched it a second time that I realized that, that wasn't real footage of couple, that was Ranveer Singh. You know, so these things are testament to the fact that I was able to effectively portray that, and that came from a process of character development where I actually stayed with him, shadowed him, videographed him, recorded him, observed him, took notes. His daughter was Kabir Khan's assistant on the film, and she was with me by my side, whose contribution, Amia, her contribution is immense. So every little thing, from the way he laughs at a joke, or the way he dances, or his angry face, or his resting face, I would say ये एक run होता है, बूंद बूंद से समंदर बनता है. So when it all adds up, you find that to be a distinctive character. But yes, that is the degree of detail to which Amia and I decided that we would infuse into this character. So now maybe everybody doesn't see it, but Amia and I know even those little things are so couple. So when we see them, like a small moment, a reaction, she and I will look at each other and wink at each other. That's so him. So to embody a living legend was a huge honor for me. Of course, it was a great big responsibility that I understood all too well when I was embarking on this process. That, and you know, and everybody would tell me as well, it's like, you're playing couple, you better get it right, man. You know, all my cricketer friends were like, you know, encouraging me and telling me about the bowling action, threatening me almost. You better not mess up that bowling action. We're watching you. You'd better get it right. So I understood the responsibility. Of course, 83 is an iconic story, and the cinematic telling of it would be once in a lifetime moment. You know, एक बार ही बनेगी 83 वाली film. हम बना रहे हैं. Kabir sir and I would discuss how we're so lucky to be a part of the cinematic rendition of what is really one of the most glorious chapters in our history, and we approached it that way. I have to say, there's such honesty in the work put in by the entire cast and crew. We wanted that the original players feel proud of, you know, the movie made on their achievement. And what a moment, sir. Kabir sir and I were watching their faces in the cinema hall when they were watching the film for the first time. They all decided that nobody will watch it. They'll all sit together and watch it
for the first time. I'm sitting and watching couples laughing, crying, nodding, clapping.
And one of them's missing now.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yashpal Sharma.
we lost Yashpa recently, and really, it would have been so amazing for him to see what Jatin Sarna has done with his character.
Yeah.
The character's got so much love.
Because I remember the line from the commentary, from TV commentary, we were watching TV in somebody else's home. Because we were living in Shillong, where only the richest guy in the city had satellite TV. So we had gone to his home. And the commentator said, and there is Yashpal Sharma, mid-wicket boundary, running like a 100-yard sprinter. Right? So he made his contribution.
Most certainly, and just as well the entire cast. You know, there was such enthusiasm and keenness in everyone, such energy and such honesty. You know, Kabir sir took us to Dharamshala for us as a bonding exercise. We went and stayed there, trained there, and we really became a band of brothers. And that's where we became a team, you know. So on screen it translates. When we're addressing each other, there is that familiarity that you can sense, you know. And let me tell you, sir, even one sour grape in this mix would ruin it all. It would all crumble and come apart. But everyone was just honest in their approach. And I guess the result of 83, the result that we're seeing with regards to 83 is a result of that honest approach from a collective. I keep saying to Saqib, to Kabir sir, ये आपने नहीं बनाई, हमने नहीं बनाई, किसी ने नहीं, ये पिक्चर अपने आप बन गई. There's such divine blessings attached to the actual event that our film has perhaps benefited from those blessings.
That's fantastic. Before I let Kripa take over from here, how does Kapil dance?
You'll see it, sir. You'll see it when they win a particular match and they're in the dressing room.
So
When they're in the dressing room, there's a dance, and it's so couple. That's exactly how he dances, by the way. And it's damn funny.
You will have
Show and
yes.
show and tell.
He has this. It's very idiosyncratic. It's like. Dances like that. I've copied everything. And even when he hears a joke, you tell Kapil a joke, he'll throw his head back and he has this particular. So yeah,
These little things, I was really enjoying picking up the tiniest of details and putting them into the character. It's been a very fulfilling process for me.
What I'm interested in knowing is how did it all start? Like, did you just get a call one day, or where were you, and how did Kabir Khan approach you?
He sent me a message. He said, I want to meet you about a film, and we met, and he said, I want to make the 83 film. I was like, wow, somebody's finally making the 83 film, because being born in 85, I know that 83 is a very glorious chapter in our sporting history. You grow up knowing about Kapil Dev and his achievements, and I was like, finally, somebody's making the 83 film. And the first thought was like, yes!
He was born in 85, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, yes!
तो
Cricket
पैदा भी नहीं हुआ था.
सोचो सर,
हाँ.
I millennial power, baby, hell yeah. So my first thought was like, yes, cricket खेलने को मिलेगा, yes. I was very excited. I was a very keen cricketer myself. I used to play a lot of gully cricket, play for school and everything. And I was like, yes, man, if I do this, I'll get to play cricket. And in 2011, strangely enough, gave an interview, one of my first interviews after I became famous. Somebody asked me, if you were to play a biographical character, who would you play? And I said, Kapil Dev. You know,
Wow.
back then, it was like a premonition, like an epiphany. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It came out of my mouth, and I guess now when I think about it, maybe I was like, okay, I would like to play a sports person, a legendary sports person. This is my height, this is my skin tone. Maybe I could look like Kapil Dev. I don't know. Maybe. And it just came out of my mouth. Later, when I saw the interview, I was like, I didn't really think that through. I just said Kapil Dev. It just came out Oh well, I guess I will still love to play Couple Dev. Back 2011, cut 2 years later, I'm sitting with Kabir Khan. He's offering me Couple Dev's role, and I was instantly excited, and yeah, it just um, excited me. I was excited about playing the cricket, but when Kabir started telling me the story, I was like almost in disbelief hearing the actual story of 83, because 85 born, you look upon 83 as a glorious chap. You already look upon Kapil as a legend. But do you know the actual story of how many people from my generation actually knew where these guys started off? So when he's telling me कि कपड़े धोने के पैसे नहीं थे एंड टिकट बदलने के पैसे नहीं थे और ऐसा हुआ, आई वाज लाइक नहीं नहीं सर, कभी सर क्या बोल रहे हो सर, ऐसे हुआ था क्या, नहीं नहीं ऐसे तो नहीं हुआ होगा. सो आई वाज लिसनिंग टू द एक्चुअल स्टोरी ऑफ 83 इन नियर डिसबिलीफ कि I didn't know the actual details of where these guys started off, like bottom of the bottom to the top of the pops. I didn't know the actual details of the story, which is the story of the film 83, which I felt like, okay, there's a certain generation who knows about it. They know that this is that one iconic event that changed, the attitude of the nation, started believing that we are not journeymen, that we can be something, we can be the best in the world at something. They were like, man, we felt like we can now stand shoulder to shoulder with anybody in the world, and that wasn't the kind of spirit we carried before 83. It really gave self belief to us as a nation, as a people. And the new generation, they need to know that this is how cricket became cricket. This is how cricket became a religion in our country. This is the one moment that changed it all. And I didn't know that personally. Can you imagine the amount of young people in our country who didn't know, but now they will. Yes, now they will. They'll know about 83 and they'll know what a great achievement it was. And we're very happy that we are the, Kabir San, I consider, keep telling ourselves how lucky we are that we got selected for this cinematic rendition of this amazing, truly extraordinary story.
Questions from the audience? This is the first one we have done
In 2 years.
in 2 years, where we have a very selected audience, a very small selected
I
audience.
appreciate each one of you smiling at me and nodding your heads.
So please raise your hand and introduce yourself and ask a question. So who has a question?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Thank you for spending your Christmas evening with me. I hope I'm able to.
I don't think there's anyone better who would want to spend.
Hey now. Hey now. Go meet me under the mistletoe. Just kidding.
Okay. As of now, you and the.
If you would introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Chaitali.
Hi, Chaitali.
You and Deepika are at your peak right now, and it's like absolute perfect. How do you guys balance your life, and what's your perfect evening with her?
Oh wow. Okay. I cannot. I can't say that this work-life balance is easy. It's actually very difficult, and Deepika's way better at it because she has more experience than me, and she's way better at managing her time than me. Me, on the other hand, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to achieve that balance. At the moment, it's a bit lopsided, and my wife is complaining just a little bit. For instance, once we're done here, I will run at full speed to Christmas dinner with the family. So yeah, I'm still learning this work-life balance. Right now, it's a bit lopsided. I'm very, very involved with work right now, but I've committed to my wife that I will endeavor to create a more of a balance between work and living life. And it's really, I learned so much from her. You know, she's a very, very evolved person, and there's so much to learn from her. She's really the best thing in my life. She's what I look forward to. She's home for me. You know, it's like if he's like she's really, I mean, like, she's my everything. She's like a uh, she's my baby. She's my friend. She's my confidant. She's my bestie. She's so many things to me. She's and the quality time that I spend with her is the best. You know, lockdown, I spent so much time with her. It was really a beautiful phase for us. After that, touchwood. After that, you know, we both gotten busy. She with her work commitments and me with mine. But now December break is coming around, so I get to spend more time with her. I really cherish all the time that I get with her. You know, it's just we. I and that's why she's so amazing, because it's been almost 10 years that, you know, we started dating in 2012. Yeah, so it's been almost a decade, and I feel like this person is infinite, and that I haven't even scratched the surface. You know, as deeply as and intimately as I know her, I feel like there is I can the main thing is I can just spend hours with Deepika. We never run out of things to talk about. We laugh together. We experience things together, and I'd be the first one to admit that she is a very evolved person, and I get to learn a lot from her. You know, and she's her life choices are admirable, and I really have the highest regard and reverence for her as a person, as a professional, and yeah, she's the main thing is that you have fun. You know, when I think about what I do in my if I'm not working, my downtime, I'm like, man, let's go somewhere, let's do something. I just want to be with her. You know, she's really she like right now I can't even speak about her without smiling. You know, she brings a smile to my face. Just the thought of her, the mere thought of her. So yeah, I'm very touched with her. I'm very grateful that she's in my life. She is my life.
So,
Thank you.
so
Thank you, man.
you paid your dues for this evening for being late for your Christmas dinner. but I will tell you, Deepika, when she was asked a question at her off the cuff session with us, somebody in the audience asked her a question: how do you de-stress? Because how do you manage work-life balance? And she gave a even more intelligent answer than his. She said, my stress buster is beginning to sort out my cupboards and drawers and things and rearranging them.
It's true.
It's true, yes.
It's true. She loves that. I wouldn't call it OCD, or it's like, I don't know. She finds cleaning and organizing very therapeutic, and I get that. I totally get that. She loves creating spaces. You know, she has this. She's a closet interior decorator. She's a natural homemaker. You know, she's as good as it gets, man.
Okay, so we are missing Romy Dev today. We got Mr. Kapil Dev. We are missing Romy Dev today, but we shall make up for it. Purva.
In fact, speaking of which, you know, you and Deepika, in the number of films that you've worked together, in every film, there hasn't been, like till 83, there hasn't been any happy ending. Like either of you are dying on screen.
Yeah.
How is it this time? Finally.
Finally, we have something to celebrate at the end of the movie and not feel tragic about. Yeah, I'm really thrilled that we didn't die this time. In fact, we lifted the World Cup. So yeah, I'm really grateful that Deepika was a part of 83.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. one, she's a fine actor, a lesser actor in that part, and the film wouldn't have felt complete. The other thing is because of our real life equation, the minute she enters on screen in the second half, there's immediate purchase. You immediately invest in them as husband and wife. And most significantly, Deepika has seen this emotion and this dynamic firsthand. No actor in India probably has seen it or knows it or understands it better than her, because she's seen it with Prakash Padukone and Ujjwala Padukone, her mum. And she knows exactly what it means to be the support system for a world champion sportsman. She understands that capacity all too well because she's seen it. She's seen the way her mum has been rock solid support. The wind beneath his wings propelled him to become world champion. She knows that dynamic. So there could not be anyone better than her. And plus she's got, the exactly like Romiji, she's so graceful and elegant in everything that she does. I I really have.
Okay, so
I love that scene when she,
Questions
when
from
she
the
tells Prit,
questions from the audience, please raise your hand.
it's not
and
every
we'll-
day that you get to see a world record being broken. I'm like, yeah, Deepu, give it to me.
Raise your hand and we'll come to you. Any more questions from the audience? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi.
What happened?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing. Hi. My name is Apurva. I work
Ji.
with the print. You've spoken about this a little bit, of course, about the diversity of your characters from
Ji.
Padmavat to 83. Do you have a set process, creative process, from costumes to makeup to your dialect that you use to get into the skin of the character?
No, actually, that's a really good question. Thank you for that. But no, there is no one way of doing things. There's no one approach. You got to keep changing it character to character. What is consistent and what I like to do is definitely take some time that is dedicated to character development before we actually get on the floors and shoot. So there is a process or a time that's assigned prior to the commencement of the film that I take to develop the character. But every process is different, and you try and find a new process. It's a process of exploration. There are no set rules. Sometimes I lock myself up for 3 weeks. Other times I don't have to lock myself up. I actually have to go and spend my time differently. Do different things. So the process is different for every character, but what's consistent is that there is a process prior to portraying any character, and like I said, it's my endeavor to create distinctive characters. I would like to be recognized as a versatile actor, and I feel very happy when I receive compliments. When nowadays we have social media and what people are feeling about your work, they can express and you can access that. So I feel like, when I get so chuffed when somebody says, oh, he's a shapeshifter or he's a chameleon-like actor, I love it. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So I like that because that's mine now. That's the kind of actor I've always aspired to be, there are some actors who play themselves or the same kind of thing, and I love that because I love seeing that across films, and there's a charm to that too, but it's not me or it's not for me. I would like to see myself in different skins every time.
So
But do you-
is there a, sorry,
Sorry.
is there a film star of the past whose biopic would you like to feature in? Then I will tell you what I might choose, who I might choose.
You first then.
No, you first.
You first.
No?
Well, there's this idea floating around about me as Kishore Kumar. I don't even know, okay? There was like some random article somewhere, and that was the extent of it. The article said he has that madness, that that is a prerequisite when you're portraying Kishore Kumar.
When you do that, must read an interview that that Pritish Nandi had done with him.
Okay.
I'll mail it to you.
Okay.
It's among the best. It's fantastic. It's a pity it wasn't with me. It was with Pritish Nandi, but I have to grant that. But what about someone like, say, Devanand or Rajesh Khanna? People with very clear mannerisms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to explore a character. Yeah, definitely. The two names you've taken are very.
So
they
which
have
of the
their
two?
distinctive style.
Dilip Kumar nahi chalega.
They have their distinctive style.
Dilip Kumar nahi chalega, and you're too slim for Raj Kapoor.
मैं हाइट में थोड़ा मार खा गया. Yeah, but he is my absolute favorite.
अमिताभ बच्चन तो है ना.
Hey,
थोड़ा धीरे
he's-
बोलो. He's just next door.
He is my absolute favorite. He's the greatest for me. पर हाँ, मैं कैसे ही करूँगा यार. मतलब ठीक है, थोड़ा हाइट वाले जूते पहनूंगा. I don't know. They might have to do something in visual effects, but how can anybody play Amitabh Bachchan? How do you play Amitabh Bachchan? Right? I guess there's Kishore Kumar. Maybe. I read that article in its entirety, and it said he was very eccentric, apparently, and so some people believe that I might be a fit for that. I know Basu sir, Anurag Basu, who I would love to collaborate with, is developing something since many years, and let's see, fingers crossed, hopefully it happens. I would love to do that. I'd love to be a part of that.
I know you said that you want to be known as versatile actor, and your range has been, distant range. But over the period, like for superstars, basically, they do get typecast. So, do you fear someday, at some point in your life, like writers and directors or producers who know you would probably write the roles that they just know you how you are, and they'll write the roles accordingly, and you'll get typecast?
But how am I?
That's a good
आप ही बताओ. How am I? क्या ही लिखेंगे? What is the definition? My entire endeavor, and it's a constant endeavor, is that I don't wish to be. I want to create such that you just can't put me in a box. That you just can't define it. You can't define it. Like you ask somebody, रणवीर की मिमिक्री करके दिखाओ. कर पाएंगे? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't wish to be put in a box. I wish not to be defined, because I find that if you define me, then that by its fundamental nature, it's limiting. It would limit me. And as a creative person, I'd like to believe that I have no limits. I have that the possibilities within my craft are just limitless, that they be infinite, that there is no end to how much I can explore or how many different people I can become. So yeah, that I hope I continue that. And if I'm becoming, if I'm doing the same thing, I'll feel like I'm stagnating. I'll probably should then take a sabbatical, go live some life, gather more life experiences, put more different characters into my jholi, and then come back to work. Ji.
Okay, first Yatin and then you. Because
Hi, this is Yatin Shah.
Hi.
We were very privileged. We knew Kabir Khan, and we organized a preview for our clients, for 3,000 clients across 11 cities on Wednesday. And so I invited my daughter and my son, 10 and 13. Cricket, of course, they're not into cricket. They're in Fortnite games and everything else, but not cricket. But they were into Ranveer, so that was the motivation for them to go to the theatre. And trust me, she wrote a very nice review and she sent it to Kabir Khan. I would like to read a few lines. So first
Please.
compliment and then question. Yeah.
By all means.
Yes. The movie 83 was a moment in history that was unforgettable. Even not being born at that time, she was born in 2008.
Nor was he.
It still kept me on the edge of my seat, eager to know what should happen next. The movie was highly heartwarming and joyful. The film took us on the ride of emotions from sad to happy to worried, and she sent a long message to Kabir Khan. So what you have done is got kids back to the movie theatre.
I
for
love it.
Cricket 83.
I
and
love
it's
it.
fantastic.
They must know this story.
It's outstanding. Just one more question, of course, after the compliment is,
You know what Will Smith says? if you want to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been. You know.
Ouch. Lovely. Is your motivation and passion, right? We all want to have the same thing. Where you get it from?
Okay, so
Don't name say Deepika, right?
she is my passion in a very different way. So I'll tell you, this great big thing happened once in my life. I became an actor, you know, and that itself is the greatest gift, the greatest blessing that I never lose sight of. Um, Unbelievable as it may sound, I wake up every day still in disbelief that I became a Hindi film hero. Like, I actually became an actor. I still can't believe it. What is happening with me in this moment, what has been happening with me for many years now, is beyond my wildest imagination. You know, I I can hardly believe that I am playing opposite my screen idols. You know, like I'm in a movie with Govinda. I'm acting with Anil Kapoor. Like, I'm now doing a movie with Dharminder. It's unbelievable. You know, like I'm doing a Karan Johar movie now. Wow, you know, I've grown up watching Kuch Kuch Hota and stuff like that. So it's I have I have this, what I believe is my superpower, and that's gratitude, man. Every day I start my day thanking the Almighty, the divine force, for giving me this gift, this blessing. There's a line na, in Gully Boy when he tells his father that ye tohfa diya hai upar wale ne mujhe. And that's my driving force, that gratitude. I'm just too grateful for this opportunity, for these opportunities, and that's what propels me. That I think that's my core. I'm filled with gratitude. I value my opportunities, and that gives me everything. Gives me the energy to go at it full power. It gives me motivation. It's what burns as passion. You know, that I'm just this was always my dream, you know, to become a Hindi film hero, actor, star, whatever you want. And I had a 1,000,000 to 1 shot, man. Like, it was very far-fetched for me to think that I'd get an opportunity, and look what happened. You know, I got launched by Yash Raj Films. You know, now it's been 10 years now. I've worked with the cream of the crop, Sanjay Bhansali, multiple times, Rohit Shetty, Zoya Akhtar, the finest talents in Hindi films. And I get to play Kapil Dev on screen. So look at these insane opportunities. I recognize that they are priceless opportunities, and I value them, and I'm grateful for my opportunities, and that's what motivates me, that's what gives me energy, that's what burns as passion. And now, at this stage of my career, I feel like I'm hungrier than ever before. I'm like, let's more of the same. Come on, let's see what more we can do. You know, it's like, I feel like I've learned over a period of time that my craft of acting is limitless. It's limitless. There's no end to it. And I want to do more characters and more such films. And my appetite is just, creative appetite at the moment is insatiable. Absolutely insatiable. I'm ravenous. I want more, and I want to do more. I'm, it's like a blazing inferno inside me that I want to work with. I want the filmmakers that I have collaborated with, I want to collaborate with again and see what more we can do, you know, and create together. And I want to work with new voices and different characters, more genres, more. I want more. Like I said, my appetite, creative appetite at the moment is just absolutely ravenous.
Before she asks a question, let me ask you. This is a very competitive profession, and everything is about how much airtime, how much how much time have I got, camera time have I got. And I will give you an example from personal experience. My first Walk the Talk recording with Devanand, which was on that little fortress next to Land's End. As we were sitting down to conclude it, and we had choreographed it that we'll sit on a bench and conclude it there, he pulled me to this side. I was sitting on that side. He pulled me to this side and he sat on that side. He was about 81 at that point, right? I was about 20 years younger at that point. And later I asked the producer and the camera person that why did he so rudely effectively lifted me and put me on this side? And he said, because you don't know. The light was on that side. He's a star. He wants the light. He doesn't want you to get the light, right? So in a profession which is so competitive, how do you then let other people take the space and take attention, like Gully Boy? Even this film is not about one person. It's not a biopic on Kapil. Do you feel some insecurity? Does somebody tell you you're giving too much time to others?
Okay, so you do hear these voices, okay? People come and try and fill your head and try and corrupt you all the time. But it's really on you how you approach it. I'm not that guy, sir. I'm not that guy at all. I first of all don't view this as a competition at all. I'm not competing with anyone other than myself. I'm not even competing with myself. You know, I just have a very honest approach to films and filmmaking, and I understand all too well and recognize it as a collaborative process. You know, it's teamwork. That's not to say that I haven't first-hand experienced other actors trying to play this one-upmanship game with me or try to upstage me. I've experienced it many a time. But that's just not me. It's not in my grain. I feel like when the ensemble shines is when the film gets elevated, you know, and I've taken this honest path and honest approach to this, and I've seen the fruits of it, and that's just me. I understand that it's teamwork, it's creative collaboration, you know, it's give and take. I'm secure enough to not want the light on me all the time, you know. I have that degree of security. I'm very happy that I am that way, and along the way, I could have been corrupted, you know, but I've been able to stay honest, and I'm very happy to see that there are lots of people who have said that, you know, who have said this to me before, that it's commendable that you allow space and let others do their thing. I'm like, and to that I'm like, well, is there any other way? You know, it's how I am. It's just who I am.
If you
Great.
introduce yourself.
I will. Thank you, sir. Hi, Ranveer. I'm
Hello, ma'am.
Sukanya. This is
Hi,
actually our third rendezvous, if you may. The first was when I interviewed you at the YRF studios for Noblesse magazine. The second was when I interviewed you
And we
for
did the
EO.
shoot in air.
Yes.
You
Oh my
remember?
gosh, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And the second was when I interviewed you for EO last year before Diwali or at Diwali, I'm not sure, with the other gentleman who's also a radio jockey. Sorry, I'm not being elitist, but like I can't remember his name.
Okay.
Um,
But
So-
that would have been via remote.
yeah, it was on Zoom.
There you go. Yeah.
I have pictures for you. But anyway, you know, I like to sort of think of myself and very many more millennials as a creative, like chameleon of sorts, right? Like I am frankly finding it exhausting to juggle the very many roles that I do as writer, author, ballerina, psychologist. Like, I do a
Ballerina?
bunch of things. Yes.
Okay. Diverse.
No, so I mean, my question to you is, as someone who is similar to you in a sense of being thirsty, being wanting to be more, being wanting to do more, you know, just wanting to do it all, right? What is your take on failure? Because that's something that I am hugely, petrified of. And what is your take on ambition? Because that's something that truly, truly keeps me up at night. And it's truly something that I wake up to every morning, pumped up and charged. So, yeah, that's my question for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. So, I, over a period of time, have nurtured, cultivated, or molded myself into a person who's not result oriented. I'm not attached to the result of anything. I just detach myself from the result. You know. Thank you. And it's not easy. You know. You really have to get past your fears in order to arrive at that place where you're not attached to the result of something. I attach only that much value to the result. It's success or failure. Success or failure is what? It's a result. I'm not attached to the result. I am about the process. I am just happy to be there doing that. You know, for me, the most magic moments are being on set, creating, thinking of a line, thinking of giving the director a suggestion, giving the shot, being in the shot, being present in the shot, having some moment of truth between action and cut. The creation, when you're at the monitor with your collaborators watching the shot and you're like, wow, that's a great shot. You know, for me, it's about the process. The process is the prize. You know, it's not the prize. It's the process that is most rewarding to me. And I attach value to the process. So I've detached myself from the result. I don't get too carried away by success. I don't get bogged down by failure because they aren't where I attach my value. My
Can I just
value.
jump in right
Gee.
there and say something? Sorry, I don't know if this is working.
Gee, it
It's
is.
working, yeah.
Okay. You know, your Instagram bio says living the dream.
Yeah.
So for someone who's living the dream, it's pretty easy to say you're not attached to success or failure. And I'm sure you're not, because I know you're a process guy. When I chatted with you for the Noblesse, cover story, he, by the way, enacted the whole Rocky Balboa scene, and what was supposed to be a Q&A that was supposed to span 20 minutes took 3 hours. But hey, I wasn't
that's me.
complaining. So yeah, I think
Sounds about right.
exactly. So I think, like, for someone who's already tasted that level of success and who's quote unquote living the dream, it's fantastic. But hey, there's like people like me, right?
Yeah.
Who are hustling hard every day.
Yeah.
And of course, I almost became a Bollywood star, but I didn't. Anyway, that's a story for a new day. But just to say that I think the fear of failure, or rather the sort of fear of not doing enough, is what plagues a lot of us multi-potentialites and millennial multi-potentialites at that, because we want to do it all and we want to be it all. So for someone who is already being more and doing more, what is like your prime tip to us?
Keep hustling. You in the hustle, just keep hustling, because that's what you got to do, right? That hustle itself is the process, right? Now, I'll be the first one to admit to you that if this great big thing did not happen in my life, if I didn't get this blessing of given these opportunities to be an actor, I would have probably shaped up as a different person. You know, I can't deny that my struggle period, and as grateful as I am for it, because it taught me a lot and it made me value my opportunities that I have today. I value them so deeply only because I've seen a time where there was none of it, right? Sure. So I kept and I'll be the first one to admit that does fill you in with angst. you know, when you're not getting what you want or what you're hustling for. It went on for a good 3.5, 4 years. And it was frustrating. And it does create angst and bitterness. But what you're gonna do, right? It's when hard work and talent meets opportunities when that magic happens, right? Now you got to do what's in your hands. In your hands is the hustle. You got to keep hustling, okay? And I'll also say that I created my own luck. It's not just luck. I created my own luck. You know, I put myself in a position where something might have happened for me, and it did. But the first part of that is to put yourself in that position. So my pro tip would be keep hustling, keep at it, and yeah, I have a very extremist approach to it. You know, I'm like, man, like there is no plan B. There is no plan B. One way or another, I'm gonna make this happen. I will push and work and make it happen if it's the last thing I do. And matlab, I'll give my life to it. So yeah, that when you give it everything, at the end of the day, if it works out for you, it doesn't work out for you, and there are very slim chances that it won't work out for you. If you really give it your all, truly, in the truest sense, you will not feel, you won't have any regret, you won't have any disappointment. If you truly gave it your all, you know, just keep at it, keep doing it, keep hustling. That's what it's about, really.
Well,
Thank you.
if you are, what did you say, multi-potential?
Multi-potentialite.
Multi-potentialite millennial. So I can give you a little working class suggestion. The working class suggestion is, that's what you are, millennial multi-potentialite. Please do become a journalist. Right. It not bring you that much money, but it will get you here all the time without getting to my age. So, and you could do then many things and live out many lives vicariously, right? So that's how it works. Now, linked to this is a question from one of our sponsors. This is Saurabh Tambi, Senior Vice President Marketing at AU Bank. And he says to be unique is risky, and to get tired and to go to the tried and tested path is safe. Youngsters nowadays find themselves in this dilemma. Youngsters, there's one. I'm referring to you. Youngsters find themselves in this dilemma, especially while choosing their career path. What would you advise them? अब तुम अंकल हो गए हो.
मैं तो कहता हूँ, sir, for me, if there's no risk, there's no excitement. You know, I don't know any other way. I play high risk. You know, whether it's choices I'm making for a character or choices of films, choices of characters, like or just choices in general. When there's no risk, for me there's no excitement.
Which is the riskiest character you have chosen?
Probably Alauddin Khilji.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried. I was like, oh, okay, mainstream leading man, playing this despicable character, and you know, what a bad man. Like, oh wow, it's like he's accused of genocide and, you know, and torture and all of these things. Like, it was a big risk. It was a big risk. But Mr. Bhansali convinced me that it's something I should explore, and I can't deny him. He really is one person who's shaped and molded me as an artist. And I'm so glad that he was able to, because I've been there. I've been in that rabbit hole, and I've come out and seen the light. A dark character from a dark space to be inhabiting. But I'm really glad that I went through that. एक बार तो करना ही था. I had to do a negative character once, and I did it. It came to me earlier than I would have expected, but it got me a lot of laurels, which I'm very grateful for. And that process was also, it was man, it was like a study, right? A study, and I learned so much because I was reading about tyrannical figures throughout history and all the things that they perpetrated, and I was watching all these films that had such dark themes and treatment, and listening to music that's just, I was listening to like soundtracks of like horror films, you know. It's just to go down that like Christoph Penderecki, it's like you can't like, it was really a trip, you know, and it affected me inside out. But I've been there, I've done that, and I've learned a lot from that. So yeah, huge risk, but greatly rewarding as well.
So we saw the era of the Khans. Before that, we saw the era of the great stars, Devanand, Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor. In between, Rajesh Khanna, then came in Amitabh Bachchan. I'm talking of male stars. You sit, shall I say it, on top of the stardom ladder right now in Hindi cinema. How does it feel? Do you get vertigo, or do you want to go higher, or?
Thank you, sir.
सच बोलो.
यार ये स्टारडम क्या ही होता है मुझे, I love to receive the love of people, you know. It's for me, it's the circle of life, you know. It's energy. I receive love energy, I pay it forward, and that's the karmic circle of life, you know. I'm not I'm an actor first. I'm just happy to be doing this, and I'm confident of myself, that I don't think I will lose sight of it. I don't think I will get so carried away by this. There are two aspects of it, right? When it's like the actor you and the star you, and my gaze is entirely on the actor, you know. The star is secondary to me, but I'm happy that I'm at the center of the action. You know, it's an exciting time in Hindi cinema with so many.
So if I may interrupt you, what drives you? Is it that 100 crore opening, 500 crore aa gaya? I mean, after a few crores, what else do you do with more crores?
You know, sir, I fully agree with you, and that's why I don't concern myself with box office collections beyond a point. Of course, it is important for the people who took a punt on you, the producers who stuck their neck out, put their actual money on you or money into the project. It's important for them, and they are also members of my collective, and so on their behalf, I am very concerned about the box office.
But what gets you in the gut?
But on their behalf, what gets me is everlasting value, everlasting love. A film that you can see anytime. You can pick it up and see anytime, and it'll still give you something. It'll make you laugh or make you cry or entertain you. You know, like I've been a part of some of those films, and that's the stuff. You know, like it's Saturday evening today. My film 83 released yesterday, and I'm very happy to report to you that. Because somebody else, one of my cast members, they asked me, "Oh, bhai, collection kitna hai? Itna to pata. How much is the opening?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know." And why don't I know? Because I didn't ask. Till now I haven't asked. Now, how much was the first day collection? You know, I've seen peers of mine like hounds on a Friday, like, "Oh my God, what are the collections?"
उसको छोड़ दो. I see peers of mine counting their retweets. कितने हुए हैं? आप तो crores count करते हो.
हाँ सर, नंबर तो सिर्फ नंबर है सर. नंबर से beyond the point, आर्टिस्ट का नंबर से क्या लेना देना, राइट? and I'm happy to. I'm very very protective about my artistic integrity. You know, beyond a point. For me, it's just there's nothing greater for me the fact that I keep it very simple, sir. I'm getting a chance to act.
And what do you
And
think of
that's the greatest thing.
What do you
for
think
me.
of film awards? You know what I think about them because I've actually written about them, right? Having helped Screen Awards for 13 years, right? I did a show and tell, Mia Kalpa. What do you think of film awards? And what's the one that you're missing, which is a national award?
I would love to receive a pat on the back and recognition. Who wouldn't? I put in the work. I put in the work, and if somebody is offering praise or recognition for that, it is most welcome. But again, I attach only that much value to it. Again, it's really about the process. अगर कोई award दे रहा है तो वो भी कुछ it goes into the realm of a result of something, you know, which I don't concern myself with. It's like a bonus, सोने पे सुहागा, you know, I would say. So all of these are welcome bonuses. Who wouldn't want the bonus? You know, I want to eat the cake and the icing, and I want the cherry on top too. Sukanya, like I want it all, right? Why not? Yes. So yeah, I mean, I would like the cherry too.
And it's Christmas, so I could say like tonic and vodka.
Yeah, sure. I'm a teetotaler.
We
so
are not recommending anybody should drink, and if you drink responsibly.
yes, have a glass of wine if you know if you'd like. I personally, sir, I'm a teetotaler, high on life, and yeah. What were we talking about?
मुझको यारो माफ
Yeah, I
करना
want it all.
मैं नशे में हूँ बोलना
So I want I would love to receive the award, but there's a line in Gully Boy. कोई दूसरा मेरे को बताएगा क्या मैं कौन हूँ? So how can am I going to let somebody else decide whether I can act or not? No, it's like I know what I'm capable of. I know the amount of work I put in. I know the amount of honesty that I carry into and approach my work with. So yeah, I would love. They're most welcome. पर जो दे उसका भी भला, जो ना दे उसका भी भला. अपने को काम मिल रहा है वो सबसे बड़ी बात है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Last question from Purva. Sorry, we have a Purva and an Apurva.
Purva and a Purva.
Purva.
So to sum it up, in
Ji.
fact, you've spent 10 years in the industry. From your first film, you were a superstar, Band Baja Barat. It was a hit, instant hit. You won award. And now, 83. In these 10 years, how has Ranveer Singh changed? And in what way?
Well, I really have evolved as a person, if I may say so myself, and as an artist. You know, initially I was very cocky. You know, I used to think I know it all. And I used to feel like I'm invincible. I can act, I know how to act, and I can just do just about everything. And यही तो है acting, मतलब. And I used to be that person. You know, now over a period of time, as I started doing more work, I started working and collaborating with people like Mr. Bhansali who break you down. You know, they'll completely decimate these constructs that you have made for yourself, thinking that this is it. These are the boundaries of acting. It's after gaining a certain amount of experience that I realized that actually performance art, the craft of acting, these are limitless. They are infinite. You know, there's no extent to how much you can transform yourself into another character. You know, it's loud now. 10 years down, I feel like, man, I don't know anything. I barely even scratched the surface of the potential of this. So yeah, I mean, I've with every film, with every collaborator, with every passing year, I learn more and more and more. And I've realized that there's no end to even learning, you know.
Yeah.
There is no end to exploring the possibilities within this realm of performance art and the craft of acting. It is limitless. You can do just about anything, and that's the excitement of it. And yeah, like I said, right now, my creative appetite, I'm like ravenous. I want to see, I want to see, I want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. I want to keep doing more of the same. Um, and and I'm probably at my hungriest right now. You know, it's like after putting 10 years of work, you'd be like, okay, now take your foot off the pedal, maybe live life a little, create that work-life balance, you know, all of those things. But right now, it's like I am becoming obsessed with this craft, and so I want to play more with it and explore it more. So yes, right now it's like I said, it's like a burning like a blazing inferno, wanting to do more and see what the possibilities are. Do things that haven't been done before. That's my there was a very dear very very respected and admired colleague of mine who after 83 was pointed out that actually if you analyze things, there's no reference for you actually. You know, like a mainstream leading man of Hindi cinema doesn't really go this distinctly into different characters. And then you have all this off-screen personas, you know, that also has no reference. So I was happy to hear that, you know. I was like, okay, then maybe I'm doing something that's not done before, and therefore I'm achieving what I want to achieve, which I want to do things that have not been done before. You know, and that is a journey of exploring this craft. Let me be the first to try something that's not been tried. I'll take more risks. I'll try different things. And yeah, okay, I'll fail maybe, Sukanya. Yeah, okay, I'll take that in my stride too. Why? Because I'm not attached to the result. I'm attached to the process. And I'm just too happy to be here, guys. I'm really living the dream.
We are so happy that you are here. So I will ask you my last question. Is there a public figure in India, a politician that you would like to play? And Indira Gandhi is out of the syllabus because we know you are a shapeshifter, but we'll not let you play Indira Gandhi. So
a political figure, I'm not sure. Any suggestions?
does anybody have a suggestion? I think Rajiv Gandhi would be quite interesting.
Okay.
Quite interesting.
I guess I'll study up on him. And
Well, Mr. Modi is like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. They are still there. I'm not saying they are still there acting, but they are still there playing, right? So, so I can only look at somebody who's not there.
you know, it's ironic that because politics matters, you
Right.
know, it's written on this cup that's sitting in front of me that I'm
He advertised the
chugging
fact that we are
coffee out
deadly
of. But
boring.
I know very little about politics. So I that's not to say I'm not interested. I want to learn, but I don't know much about politics.
Politics. ठीक है, तो कभी हमारे को भी चांस है आपको समझाएंगे. But before that, before we let him go,
जी.
there are two things about Kapil which he's got just right. And the fact is that no cricketer in India or overseas, but definitely India has never got it right. One is Kapil's bowling action, side-on bowling action, right? Kapil, Wasim Akram, and Michael Holding in that era are the three fast bowlers with the most perfect action, each of his own kind. But how did you get that right? Because no Indian fast bowler has got it right. Because if he can get Kapil Dev right, then he can even get maybe Bumrah right someday, right?
सर मेरा पानी निकल गया करते करते. आप बॉल दो, मैं करके दिखाता हूँ.
Just imagine the ball is in your hand.
अच्छा ठीक है, ये भी हो सकता है. But everybody pointed that out to me when it was announced that I would be playing Kapil Dev. They were like, you better get the bowling right. Huh? We're watching out. We're looking at you. We're looking at you. And on the first day,
That sideways,
yeah,
beautiful
And
action.
Yeah, beautiful action because it's Kapil sir would explained to me how his was a body action. It wasn't a arm action. So he puts his whole body in order to achieve that momentum out of the ball and that velocity, as opposed to, let's say, Roger Binney or even
Right.
Jasprit Bumrah. They use their arm, so it's a little bit more risk there of injury. Touchwood, Bumrah ko to kuch nahi hona chahiye. But so he personally, guided me through the nuances of his bowling action. But his biomechanics are completely different from mine. His body is completely different from mine. When we started the training process, Balwinder Singh Sandhu, who was my coach, on the first day, he was like, "Here's a bat, come on, play some shots." I was hooking it and pulling it. He was like, "You're a good batsman." I was like, "Yeah, I know." But I was a part-time off spinner, so my bowling action is completely different. Initially, in the initial weeks, Balwinder sir was like, "तू जब run up में आता है ना, ऐसे लगता है पहलवान bowling करने आ रहा है." So he was like, first of all, get all this muscle mass. I was coming off of shooting Simba, so I was very heavy. So first he sent me into physical conditioning, where I was to make my entire biomechanics. I had to change my whole biomechanics to kind of be closer to Kapil. So I shed all of that. Then we started making some headway. Then I started learning it like a dance choreography, every little thing. And Balwinder Sandhu's contribution to my process and the process of this film is absolutely invaluable. He'd be watching me like a hawk, and he'd be egging me on. And I'll show you. So first take the ball, the seam position. Kapil's looking down
And the wrist just right.
Yeah, and Kapil's looking down at this point, and because he's the captain, he's up until this moment, he's only thinking about the field. It's in this moment when he's standing on his mark is that he's deciding what he wants to do, and he's calculating what ball he's going to bowl. And the first he's just taking steps, and then he has this long diagonal run up where he's building up the momentum. And Ballu sir would be watching me, rehearse this like a piece of choreography, and he'd be egging me, and he'd be like, "Yes, yes, yes." And वो बाण खींच रहा है, तो खींचो, बाण को खींचो, and then that iconic elbow that comes across in order to get that momentum. So it was
And the Nataraja,
the Nataraj shot.
a ton bit well for a lot of that.
Oh yeah. So fortunately, Ballu sir gave me 2 thumbs up on my batting.
That's a pull shot that Kapil played.
Yeah, that was the one. And he has a particular style of batting. They would regard him as a power hitter. And you know what Ballu sir actually told me? He said, "Your batting is actually a bit more technically sound than even Kapil's batting." Kapil was like a bit of a power hitter, or regarded to be a power hitter. And so I actually had to play cricket like him. So I had to mold my batting. Bowling was very tough, sir. I was 4 months of prep, 3-4 months of shooting. So for about 6 or 8 months, for 4 hours a day in the morning, just trying to get that action right. But I think it's good. It's very close.
But you got it right, and you get it from a cricket watcher, right? From a nutcase cricket watcher. So you got it right.
You're a nutcase cricket watcher.
Yeah, or I would have complained about
You
it.
approve.
Absolutely. I would have complained about it otherwise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.